Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat.
I would say greetings and welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Watch Along or BCN Sports Watch Along. But I can't anymore. We have a big game going on right now. Arsenal versus Liverpool. It's already 4 minutes into the game. So just disregard the clock. Just add about 3 minutes to it. But it's been off to a frantic start early. Arsenal versus Liverpool. And I am noticing I have both lineups are Arsenal. Let me go ahead and get that change for you guys in just a second. But welcome to the BCN Sports Watch Along. Arsenal versus Liverpool. I am Junior. I just want to see a good football game. And give me a second as I get the teams situated here. Hopefully I don't miss a goal. There you go. All right, so there are your starting lineups. And Liverpool is actually in their whites. Let me go ahead and change that jersey color to white. And it's a driving rainstorm. And I got to say, Liverpool has started very bright early. Arsenal in their customary red tops and white shorts and in their customary start that we've seen under Mikel Arteta. But we can't complain. If you're an Arsenal fan, they are happy with these kind of starts. Let me go ahead and change this jersey color here. There we go. Much better. But here's Liverpool breaking away to the top of the 18 and cleared out there by, I think that's Saliba, I believe. Arsenal now in possession. 7 minutes gone in the first half. A lot of football games playing today, but we're going to focus mainly on this Arsenal versus Liverpool game, and I'm really, really, really hoping for a very good game. I would say Arsenal started a little bit cagey. Liverpool started definitely on the front foot. Here's Virgil van Dijk in possession. One surprise though is Frimpong is playing on the right wing. I find that a little bit surprising. I know that there are a little short for options, but I would have never seen Frimpong on the right wing. Maybe that is to help with I wouldn't even say to help with Saka, because that's not Saka's wing. Anyway, here's Arsenal now in possession. Gyökeres at the top of the 18 puts the ball and trying to get Trossard away. Now Arsenal is trying to get some form of a foothold in the game right now. The last time these two teams played, Arsenal lost 1-0 at Liverpool on August 31st. I feel like so long ago. Here's Trossard in possession. Arsenal now definitely starting to establish their possession, starting to get their vibe into the game. Here's Saka. Probing puts the ball into the box. It's headed away there by Liverpool. I said a Slavasly. But Arsenal back in possession, and here they come again. Do remember to hit the like, subscribe to our YouTube channel here as we try to build a BCN Sports, providing wall-to-wall football coverage. And here's Saka into the box. I mean, that was Julian Timber in the box. Try to get the ball across, but there's an easy save there for Alisson. Warning signs there as Timber found a way down the channel in between the wing back and the centre back. Here's Arsenal now getting the ball back in the press. Ball back to Gyökeres. Gyökeres back for Trossard, top of the 18. Volleyed into the ground. Headed away, and now Gakpo tries to clear, but he squabs his kick. And Arsenal back in possession, goes all the way back to Raya. So Liverpool, after starting a little bit brightly, Arsenal is now establishing themselves in the game. This is Magalhaes. I never saw him pronounce the name. Magalhaes. I don't know. But here's Odegaard. Arsenal in possession at the center circle. Magalhaes and Odegaard put the ball back together. Here's Saka in possession on the right wing. Back to Odegaard. Arsenal definitely probing. Liverpool is now kind of falling back a little bit. But here's Arsenal. Odegaard still probing. Got the ball back to Saka deep in the Liverpool half. Here's Saka takes his man on, and Kirkes tipped it out for a corner kick to, like it's a corner kick to Arsenal. And we know how dangerous Arsenal can be with these corners, right? Big game here for the title race after what happened yesterday. Arsenal can strengthen their lead with a win. Here's Saka with a corner. Saka the corner, puts it in the box. Punched away by Alisson. Only goes as far as Trossard, and Trossard pulls down. I think that's an early yellow card for Trossard. It's like he pulled down Florian Wirtz, who probably was going to... Yeah, so Wirtz regained possession at the top of his 18, was about to break, but that's a long distance for him for Trossard to take a professional foul there. But Leandro Trossard with a yellow card early. That might be significant. Liverpool now in possession. Let me go ahead and give Trossard his yellow card. Here's Gakpo with a headed down for Wirtz. Frimpong put a little bit of pressure there. Here's Gakpo getting in possession. Back to Sava side. Here's Frimpong in possession on the far right wing. Probing, getting into the 18-yard box. Put the ball into the box and now cleared away there by Declan Rice, it looks like. It's now a throw in to Liverpool. Like I said earlier, though, this is a big match. This is a big football game here. Arsenal back in possession. It's Saliba to Rice. Rice to Zubimendi. Zubimendi back to Saliba, getting over the half line. Saliba taking the space, but now get it back to Timber. Timber to Saka. Here's Saka now into Trossard. Trossard tries a behind the back flick. Was easily read there by Liverpool, but Trossard does well. Win the ball back. And here's Declan Rice in possession. Here's Trossard. After the bright start from Liverpool early out, though, it's definitely, Arsenal has definitely settled and is now starting to look the more dominant team. Here's Odegaard. Getting the ball back. Now Saliba in possession right over the half line on the right wing. It's the ball into Rice in the center circle. Here's Odegaard, top of the 18, puts the ball in. And a poor touch there. But Declan Rice fought to get the ball back. Here's Timber. Liverpool cannot get out of their own third. Here's Saka on the wing. Leave the... Why is Saka chop up him man 3 times? Wow. Saka had Kirkes on skates before he got the ball, put the ball back, and here's Trossard. Liverpool moving the ball briskly. Arsenal moving the ball briskly from side to side, probing, and Liverpool seem to be chasing shadows right now. Here's Declan Rice, put the ball into the box. Timber wide open, put the ball across back in the penalty spot, and it's cleared away by Virgil van Dijk. That was a good ball there by Rice, and here's Saka coming back again. Liverpool is under siege. Saka skinned Kirkes alive. And here's Saka, there's got to be a goal. And somehow, Zubimendi did not get a touch on that ball. Open goal, and he missed it. But here's Arsenal again, back in possession in the center circle. Liverpool is under siege. Here's Saka running at Virgil, and I think that's an offside. Yes, it's an offside, but warning, alarm bells are blaring for Liverpool right now because, wow, Kirkes needs help. McAllister is coming back trying to help Kirkes, but Kirkes is, get the ball to Saka, let him run at Kirkes. Kirkes is struggling. As we see here as McAllister almost gave up a penalty, but Saka got the ball to Zubimendi. That was an open goal tap-in that Zubimendi missed. But here's Liverpool trying to relieve some pressure. We're 16 minutes in. And here's Arsenal press, and here's Szoboszlai breaking away for Liverpool. They broke the press perfectly. And here's Kirkes trying to make up for what happened before. Put the ball in the box. And easily corralled by Saliba. Or is that Gabriel? Is that Gabriel? And here's Saka running at Virgil. And with a shot. And comfortably taken there by Alisson. But again, Saka is... This is probably the most vibrant I've seen Saka start in a while, as Kirk is again frailing and is unable to close down Saka. And here's Arsenal breaking into the final third. Liverpool is definitely starting to fall back. They are definitely starting to fall back against the pressure. They are definitely struggling against this Arsenal's press. And here's Zubimendi. Here's Declan Rice. As Arsenal is continuing to probe, trying to find an avenue in. While Liverpool just seems to be... Now the Liverpool is kind of calming down a little bit, but they still seem like they're chasing shadows to me. Here's Saliba. Put the ball in the channel again for Timber. McAllister is chasing a beautiful cross again and headed out this time by Bradley. But Arsenal is still back again, and here's Zubimendi putting the ball in the box. Headed out again by Gakpo, and Timber is in possession. Got the ball back to Saliba. And Odegaard is screaming for it, but Saliba has put himself in a problem. But here's Saka. Got the ball final to Odegaard. Odegaard, good ball across. To Zubimendi. And here's Odegaard with the ball in the box. And there was a little bit of a coming together between Kirkes and Saka, but there was no appeal. Headed out by Arsenal, by Liverpool, but Arsenal is back in possession. And Saliba with a crazy cross pass here and easily taken away there by Szoboszlai. And Frimpong now in possession, get the ball back to Bradley. Bradley going back to Konate. The Arsenal press is relentless. As here's Trossard now in possession, and Bradley put it out for a throw. But they call it now and overrule the linesman. It's now a throw in for Liverpool, as now they can breathe a sigh of relief. I don't know about you, but it feels like it's a matter of time before Arsenal cracks this Liverpool pressure or breaks down this Liverpool defense. As Gravenberg is quarreling with the referee and wanting a throw, but it's now a throw in for Arsenal. Here's Gabriel in possession. Over to Saliba. Saliba to Odegaard. Odegaard back to Gabriel. One thing is for sure, Arsenal is very comfortable with the ball at their feet, and the chasing that Liverpool is chasing, they're not really giving much of a resistance to Arsenal. Hincapié, who should be playing left back, is basically playing as a left wing, and he's all the way up for Arsenal. And Timber himself is also all the way up, pressed up to the 18-yard box of Liverpool. So that should give you an idea of how high Arsenal is playing right now. Here's Trossard. Taking Bradley for a dance. Easily goes by Bradley. Into the 18-yard box. Put the ball back to the top of the 6. And cleared away by Konate. And again, Gravenberg is having problems breaking this Arsenal press, and is now a throw into Arsenal midway into the Liverpool half. Surely, Liverpool cannot continue like this. Here's Saka. Got the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard taken off by Wirtz. Did very well there. Here's Szoboszlai. Got the ball back into Gravenberg. Gravenberg go to Bradley. Bradley back to Konate. Konate back to Virgil, as Liverpool now gets a reprieve against this Arsenal pressure. You can sense that they're just taking a sigh of relief right now. As Szoboszlai in possession in the center circle. Got the ball to Wirtz. Wirtz out right to Bradley. Bradley has Frimpong for company. Give it to Frimpong. Frimpong back to Wirtz. Wirtz into Gakpo. And the shot. It was Gravenberg with a shot. Gravenberg was the highest up top, but it was blocked by Gabriel, and now Liverpool is back in possession deep in their own half after the clearance. Here's Konate getting the ball to McAllister. Liverpool clearly trying to slow the pace down a little bit now as they try to get their footing and just get comfortable with the ball at their feet. Here's Virgil giving the ball away. But fortunately, the second bounce came to McAllister. Here's Gravenberg. Summerside. Summerside looking for Bradley on the right wing. Get by Trossard. Get the ball out to Frimpong. Here's Frimpong. Probing. Here's Konate. Konate back to Virgil. As now Liverpool is giving Arsenal a little bit of their own medicine. Here's Gakpo. Here's Virgil back to Konate. Summerside asking for it. Summerside got it. Here's McAllister facing up to the Arsenal pressure. Here's Florian Wirtz looking for a probing ball. Got the ball back to Gravenberg. Here's Wirtz again. Arsenal seem to also be catching their breath right now, as now they're starting to chase a little bit of shadows here. Here's Slavosly. Get the ball back to Kirkers. Kirkers to Virgil. Virgil to Konate. Konate back to Wirtz. Wirtz to Bradley. Here's Virgil. Back to Kirkers. Kirkers all the way back to Allison. Or to Konate. Konate back to Allison. As Arsenal now starting to employ a little bit of a press again. But Liverpool is now playing out the press perfectly. And here's Bradley breaking away. He got Frimpong going into space. And that was just a heavy touch. And Saliba with a bad touch. And then shot off the bar. And here's Gakpo with another shot blocked. And Bradley busts up on Salad. The man bust rice salad. And cleared away by Saliba. Saliba was the one that tried to pass the ball back to Allison, who was coming out for the ball. Rhea, who was coming out for the ball. It was a heavy pass. Rhea fumbled it. The ball got to, I think it was Wirtz, or no, I think it was Bradley. Bradley had an open goal, tried to chip it and hit the bar. And Gakpo got the possession, the rebound, and it was deflected out. But here's Liverpool coming again. Here's McAllister. Getting the ball up right to Bradley. Bradley out to Frimpong with a lot of space in front of him. Going at Gabriel. And here's Frimpong put the ball in the box. And that was Timber heading the ball out. He had to put his head on that one. As Gakpo was waiting on the back post, ready to tap that in. Let me see a replay here. That was a very good effort there. A very good effort there by Bradley. I think it was Bradley. Let me see. Yeah, it was Bradley. It was a very good effort there by Bradley. Very unlucky as the ball hit the crossbar. As Rhea is screaming to Saliba saying, talk, talk, talk. Now Arsenal win the 28th minute. It's been an exciting first half. It wasn't not a million shots on goal, but both teams are showing periods of dominance and with the ball, and like we're gonna have a game here. Here's Gabriel in possession. Get the ball back to Zubimendi. Zubimendi back to Gabriel. Out to Trossard. Trossard versus Frimpong. Frimpong easily dispossesses Trossard and is now shielding the ball and earned his team a goal kick. As we see the Liverpool fans in the stands, they're cheering on that play there by Frimpong, who did well. It actually went off for a throw. So Liverpool had a throw deep in their own half. Do remember to hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Do remember hit the subscribe button on YouTube. BCN Sports watch along. We do watch alongs of all the big games. AFCON, all the European club games, international games. We also have our main show, our pilot show, that's on every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We also have a halftime show on Wednesday. You know, just come check us out, man. Here's Arsenal in the 30th minute. Arsenal has a free kick to the left of the 18-yard box as Gabriel, Hincapié, Saliba, Gyökeres, and Timber, they huddle up for what they're going to do. Because we know Arsenal is set-piece FC as Declan Rice gets ready to put the ball into the box. Anytime Arsenal have a set-piece, every team is worried. So let's see how they execute this one. Ball into the box, back post, easily caught there by Alisson. Come on, Declan Rice. That won't beat Alisson. He's trying to send Kirkes there. Was a little bit too long. It's now the throw in for Arsenal. 0-0 at the Emirates. 30 minutes gone in the game. My game clock is a little bit off. It's about 2 minutes off, but don't worry about that. Here's Gabriel. Looking long for Saka. Saka, who's been tormenting Kirkes, and so said, so done. Kirkes just pulled him down, and Saka is writhing in pain. Don't know from what, but Saka is holding on to his right ankle. Liverpool kind of went away from this. Oh yeah, he did step on his ankle. But yeah, Liverpool kind of went away from getting the ball to Saka. I don't know why. They need to get the ball to Saka early and often and let Saka run. Tell Saka to run at Liverpool. As Kirkes with a foul. Arsenal with another dangerous set piece. Not like the one before, but this is also a good angle. But they went short this time. I hear Saka. Get the ball into Odegaard. Odegaard looking to cross the ball into the box and headed away there by Konate. And Trossard will let it go out for a throw. As Arsenal maintain possession, throw in halfway into Liverpool's half. Here's Trossard going back to Odegaard. Odegaard get the ball to Raya. Here's Raya in possession 35 yards away from his goal. Saliba gets the ball into Gabriel. Gabriel gets the ball out left to Hincapié, or how you pronounce that better name? But here's Gabriel into Saliba. Saliba back to Gabriel. As Arsenal is now back into probing mode. And the game, it seemed like it has gone in spurts where this minute I'm going to probe, next minute you probe. It's been a little bit seesaw back and forth. Definitely a big game. And both teams are approaching it that way. And Rice tried to whip the ball in there to Saka. But just a little bit too hard. And now the ball goes out for a goal kick. "33rd minute, 12 minutes before halftime. Normally we say, who is the happier coach at this moment? Kind of hard to tell. I think both coaches would be pleased with how the game has gone so far. Both of them had chances that they should have converted. But I think Liverpool might go in the half, if assuming it stays the same, a little bit happier. Alisson in possession. Get the ball out right to Konate. Here's Konate looking for someone. Get the ball to Virgil. And now Arsenal is back into their press. Here's Allison. Get the ball out right to Konate. Konate trying to turn out of pressure and luckily earned his team a throw. As Arteta is conferring with his coaches there. He's not happy about something. Here's Frimpong in a foot race. He's definitely going to get there before Gabriel. And he just bundled himself over. And Frimpong seems to be in a spot of bother there. Arsenal is not stopping the play though. As the players seem to be telling Frimpong to get up. Here's Timber. Breaking and get the ball out to Saka. Now Saka against Kirkes. Kirkes getting some help here from Slavosly. Well, Saka gets the ball across here for Zubimendi. Zubimendi to Rice. Rice wanted the ball played better. But here's Trossard. As Arsenal now in pressure and put the ball in the box and it deflected and went. It could have gone anywhere. See like it deflected and Frimpong is still down. It seems like he might be legitimately injured as it looks like Liverpool look like they've taken offense to Arsenal not kicking the ball out. I don't know why they took offense to that. They're not obligated to kick the ball out. Well, here's a little, what they call, brouhaha going on as the referee now is trying to bring some common sense to this nonsense. Ref is now talking to Virgil. Probably telling Virgil, man, just keep your cool, man. It's a ball game. Just relax. As Frimpong is getting some treatment right now. Here's the replay. Let me see what happened to him because there was a coming together. Hinsiape definitely did put his foot out there, but Frimpong basically rolled his ankle on top of Hinsiape's foot. I mean, or Hincapi. All right, Frimpong. All right. Get up. Now obstruct the good ball game. As Frimpong now tries to run it off. Greetings, everybody. You don't know it's all about a thing called the BCN Sports Watch Along. Arsenal versus Liverpool, top of the table clash, top four clash. Arsenal with a win, they will strengthen their hold at the number one spot. Liverpool is trying to get out of the little rut that they're in. But here's Arsenal now with another corner kick. And we know set piece FC is dangerous. Saka sizing it up. Let's see what happens with this set piece. Ball in the box, easily headed away there by Gakpo. But it only goes out only as far as the Declan Rice. Here's Rice. Getting by his man, put the ball into the box. That's a good cross, and nobody was there to attack it. But here's Saka back in position. Get the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard. With Saliba with the ball in. And Gakpo trying to break away. But Arsenal back in possession. Here's Zubimendi. Zubimendi getting the ball out left. And here's Hincapi. Venturing way down the left flank. He has Bradley for company, also has Gravenberg. And Gravenberg comes across and hit it off for a throw. It's a throw into Arsenal deep in the Liverpool half. Looking at the replay of this Declan Rice cross, this was a very good ball. Yeah, well, Hincapi was the closest to it and he wasn't going to get there. But put it in a good area. You just needed somebody to attack it. Here's Timber. Get the ball back to Saliba. If Liverpool is going to get a goal, you just feel like it will come from Saliba. And here's Gabriel. Back to Timber. Trying to find a spot. All they can do is go long. Get the ball out there to Saka. Here's Saka. Having Kirkes for company again. Easy to get by Kirkes. Get the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard back to Saliba. Saliba back to Timber. Timber across to Gabriel. Gabriel going out left to Trossard. Oh, this is Hincapié. Hincapié with Frimpong for company. It's very important that Arsenal stay composed and don't get frustrated with all this possession. The ball is starting to move a little bit slower than it did in the first half. And they just need to move the ball a little bit quicker. Here is Zubimendi. Zubimendi. Back to Trossard. Trossard back to Gabriel. Gabriel. Back to Trossard. Back to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Zubimendi. Zubimendi across to Saliba. As Arsenal is now starting to move the ball a little bit faster. And you can see Liverpool is chasing shadows. Here's Saka. Saka to Timber. Timber chose not to get the ball to Saliba. Instead, he goes back to Saka. And here's Saka with a Timber going down the right wing. Put a good cross in. And Gravenberg having Declan Rice for company there. And Declan Rice back in possession for Arsenal as we enter the last 5 minutes of a very fast and entertaining first half. All we need now is a goal. Here's Saka. Get him by Kirkes. But going into pressure there and got the ball to Timber, and then Timber earned Liverpool a free kick in their own 18-yard box. One thing is for sure though, Timber is putting in a shift. A defensive shift. I can't tell when last I see Timber playing this defensive. I don't think I've ever seen Timber playing this defensive, as he obviously has to go back now to help Kirkes against Saka. And here's Saka again. And Zubimendi comes across, put the ball out for a goal kick. And Gakpo with a push off on Timber, his fellow countryman, and Timber earned a free kick for Arsenal. Here's Saliba. Got the ball to Zubimendi. Zubimendi out right to Saka. Saka back to Timber. Timber now get the ball to Gyökeres in the 18-yard box. Shepherd out there by Konate, but Konate left Timber here with another cross into the box. Another dangerous cross, and it's a volley there by Declan Rice, and Alisson made that look a little bit more interesting than it needed to be. But Liverpool again in 6s and 7s against Arsenal. Here's Arsenal coming once more time with Timber. Timber get the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard looking across. Over there to Gabriel. Gabriel in possession on his left foot. Got the ball to Odegaard with the ball. Then it's a Saka. There's a beautiful ball and it could be a goal. And Kirkes did well there to block it. But Saka should have done better. As Timber just bailed out Liverpool with a reckless tackle there. And Liverpool with a free kick. But after a good passage of play there that got Saka away one-on-one, Kirkes did well to stay strong and eventually block the shot. As Arteta shows his displeasure, as Arteta thought, he clearly thinks we should have done better with that one. As we are approaching halftime, final minute of the first half. The referee's about to put his board up. Shouldn't be more than 2-3 minutes. Here's Gravenberg. Gravenberg in possession. Get the ball out right to Frimpong. Frimpong with his head up, looking for an early cross into the box. Trying to get to Gakpo, but could not get past the second defender. And here's McAllister. McAllister, Odegaard, a little coming together there. And the referee has deemed it a foul on Liverpool. And Arsenal will get a free kick in the center circle. Both McAllister and Odegaard, they went for the ball. McAllister went a little bit higher. And McAllister seems to be a little bit worse for wear. 2 minutes of stoppage time. 2 minutes of stoppage time in a very quick first half. A very fast going first half here. I was looking back again at the Frimpong. What they thought could have been a penalty. I guess this is a talking point. I guess they're saying, I guess they're showing this again to say it could have been a penalty, I guess. But that would have been harsh. Harsh for against Arsenal. Here's Saliba in possession. Get the ball out to Saka. Saka. Back to Timber. Timber. Back to Saka. To Saliba. Saliba with a good ball into space. Just a little bit overhit there for Timber. As Timber has been breaking away down that right flank, and he's been dangerous. He's been very dangerous in the first half as Arteta looks on. And Arne Slot seems a little pensive. I don't know if I'll describe it as worried, but he does seem a little pensive. It's still 0-0 here, as this should be the last kick of the first half. And it is, as Alisson kicked the ball and the referee puts the whistle to his lips. 0-0 first half. A game has been, I would say Arsenal have had the better of the play. But Liverpool definitely have made them announce themselves as contenders. We're at the halftime break. It's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. The commentator is taking a break. So you know what? I'm going to take one too. I'll be right back. We'll talk some halftime news. Sorry. Respect. Tatenda Trish. Big up Tatenda Trish. Respect. I'm over here talking away. Thank you very much. And big up Tatenda Trish. Big up Trish for letting me know that I was on mute. I was going through the scores. Some scores. I was just commenting on Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy was on the score sheet today for Cremonese as he scored against Calgary in a 2-2 draw. So I guess all that I just spoke about, nobody heard. That was some great stuff I just talked about. Genoa is leading AC Milan in Serie A 1-0. We're currently at the half. Liverpool and Arsenal tied 0-0. If you missed the first half, it's been a little bit of a back and forth. Arsenal have had 60% of the possession. Liverpool have had 40%. Both teams have had good opportunities. Arsenal created some clear-cut opportunities. Liverpool had one where Bradley got the ball and hit it off the crossbar after a Saliba mistake, passing the ball back to Rhea. It's a pensive game. So I guess nobody heard the halftime spill that I had right after my break. But it's been a close game. It's a game where both teams can go in feeling a little bit positive. Arsenal has enjoyed bigger spells of pressure. Liverpool have been able to sustain or been able to stymie the pressure and create one or two chances on their own. Frimpong has definitely looked lively going down the right wing for Liverpool there. That makes you wonder that he can provide some threat. However, looking at the bench, I think Arsenal has more to offer coming off the bench, which in itself is also very dangerous because you have the likes of Eze, Madueke. With what we saw in the first half with Saka running at Kirkes and getting joy against Kirkes, and also Trossard in the couple chances that he got by Bradley pretty easy. So Eze and Madueke must be licking their chops for the second half thinking, yo, we can get our chance as well. So I don't know. I think odds on right now, Arsenal is odds on to go ahead and win this game, but Liverpool are maintaining enough of a threat. And on the Liverpool bench, so on the bench we have Mikel Merino for Arsenal, Martinelli, Madueke, Eze, Norgard, Aris Balaga, Lewis Skelly, Ben White, and Gabriel Jesus. That's a very attacking bench that Arsenal have. If they want to turn up the pressure some more, they definitely can. While Liverpool have Nione, Joe Gomez, Ngomba, Curtis Jones, Chiesa, Andrew Robertson, Calvin Ramsey, Woodman, and Mama Dashfield. So Arsenal definitely have the stronger bench, and they can definitely turn up the heat some more in the second half. I expect maybe Trossard to give way pretty soon. I would not be surprised if Arteta make a change for Trossard right now. You want to chase this game. If you're Arteta, if you're Arsenal, you have an opportunity to go up on the standings by 8 clear points. If you win this game, you'll be ahead of Man City and Aston Villa by 8 points. You don't want to give up that opportunity. It looks like they're getting ready to kick off the second half. Let me get the scoreboard girder here. Well, entertained. I am pleasantly entertained with this first half. Looking at the recent run of form, you would think that Arsenal would take this opportunity to really go at them, but let's see here. It looked like the rain has also eased up a little bit, maybe, because it was a driving rainstorm to start the game. Big up to Wisdom. Hopefully, I don't want to butcher your first name, but I'm gonna call it Onak Wisdom. Hopefully, I pronounce the name properly. He's asking where can you watch the game. If I'm in the if you're in the United States, you can watch the game on Peacock. So I'm watching it on Peacock right now. Any of your NBC affiliates, you can watch it on there. I'm sure there are some Henry Morgan sites out there that you can probably watch it on, but they are shutting those down quickly. Let's see. Let me tell you where you can watch the games. So NBC and Peacock, they own the rights. It's all NBC and Peacock. So you can only watch the game if you have NBC SN and if you have Peacock. Officially. My prediction for the second half, I think this is a different Arsenal. If this was Arsenal last year, as the teams are coming off for the second half, if this was Arsenal last year, I think they would both be happy with where they are. As we see, a substitute is coming out for Arsenal. Arsenal definitely making a change, it looks like. Or was that Zubamendi? I think it was Zubamendi. But my prediction, I want to say Arsenal is going to go away with it in the second half. Because Arsenal just have too much firepower on the bench. As the second half is off. Let's see how if Liverpool changes their press attempts here. As here's Arsenal in possession with Saliba being chased there by Florian Wirtz. Get the ball back to Timber. And Liverpool definitely employing a little bit of a small press, not the regular heavy metal press. Here's Saliba probing down the wing, and here's Timber. Easily get by Gakpo. And he was bundled over by Kirkes, but the referee said that's not a foul. As Alisson now in possession. Both teams come out the second half the way the game started. Here's Gakpo. Having Saliba for company on the left corner flag. Looking for help. But all the way back to Kirkes. Kirkes all the way back to Virgil. Virgil back to Kirkes. Wirtz. Back to McAllister. Back to Virgil. Here's Gakpo sending it to Kirkus. Kirkus looking into the box. Has no options. Back to Gakpo. Gakpo back to Gravenberg. Gravenberg. Back to Virgil. Virgil back to Gravenberg. Gravenberg. Now back to the half line. The ball back to Virgil. Here's Virgil looking long. Looking for Frimpong. Picked him out nicely. Here's Frimpong. The ball inside to Savaslai. Savaslai back to Gravenberg. Gravenberg. Liverpool now probing. Here's Kirkes. Got by Saka. Out left to Gakpo. Gakpo into Florian Wirtz. Wirtz cut into the box. Beats 4 men. Got back here and asking for a penalty there as Gabriel is trying to pick up Wirtz and telling him get up. All right, you know what? Get up, sit down. As Wirtz did well, he did well to get by about 5 Arsenal defenders there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. And it was Trossard who came in. You know what? Wirtz does have a he does have a claim for a penalty there. He does have a claim for a penalty there as and the referee VAR did a check and did say no penalty, but that was close. That was a close call as Trossard Hearts was in his mouth right there. Anyway, we're back in possession with Arsenal. And Frimpong ushers the ball out with Konate for a goal kick to Liverpool. That was a talking point, though. That was a talking point where Wirtz. It would have been a harsh penalty, to be honest. It would have been a harsh penalty, but we've seen penalties given for less. Here's a long ball up and headed out by Timber. Throw into Liverpool in the middle of the field. Here's McAllister. As Arsenal is now employing the press again, but here's Gravenberg easily breaking the press. Get the ball in here to Timber. Timber to the left for Kirkes was just a little bit too hard there by Gravenberg as Gravenberg tried to get Kirkes, who was away. He was away, breaking into the 18-yard box as Liverpool. You know what? The game is started. The second half has started the exact same way the first half started. And I won't be fooled by this because Liverpool started same way lively and eventually it just kind of just petered out in the end. Let's see if Arsenal is employing the same strategy here. As Zubimendi now in possession in the center circle. Get the ball out right to Saliba. Saliba giving the ball away to Wirtz here, but he was very fortunate that the ball went out for a throw. A throw into Arsenal. And here's Declan Rice in possession in the center circle. Gabriel looking long. Trossard is easy to take it away here. And here's Gravenberg. Rides a challenge by Rice. And it's been a foul given against Arsenal. Konate looks long. It was a little bit too long, and Saliba now in possession for Arsenal. Getting the ball back to Alisson. We're in the 51st minute. 6 minutes on in the second half. Still 0-0. Here's the long ball. They're finally trying to get the ball to Saka. Saka having Kirkes here for company, and Kirkes does well to shepherd the ball out, and it's a throw in to Liverpool. This is where Arsenal make it more complicated than it needs to be. Kirkes has been struggling against Saka in the first half. Get the ball to Saka's feet and let him run at Kirkes. Saka and Timber has been finding joy down that right wing. Get the ball to their feet. It's not that hard. And here's Frimpong with a lucky ball going there, breaking away, but Saliba and Gabriel and Hincapié got back, shepherded him up. But here's Frimpong does well, shielding the ball, getting the ball out there left to, that's like Florian Wirtz. And here's Wirtz, having Timber for company. Get the ball into Frimpong. Oh, Frimpong should have turned and shot that. You had the angle there, Frimpong. You should have turned and shot that. But here's Liverpool, back in possession. Ball back to Virgil. Virgil get the ball into Gravenberg in the middle of the Arsenal's press. Here's Gravenberg, a little bit wide of Wirtz. But Liverpool gets the ball back. Here's Virgil. The ball back to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz in possession. Get the ball back to Virgil. Virgil up right to Konate. Konate to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back to Virgil in the center circle. It's Arsenal's time to chase shadows now as Konate gets the ball back to Virgil. Virgil gets the ball out left. Trying to get the ball in the box, but cleared away there by Saliba. And Konate tried to put the ball back to Alisson. A little bit short there. Here's Arsenal in possession with Declan Rice. Rice with a full 360 in the center. Trying to find space. Trossard tried to send Rice down the left wing and was hit out for a throw-in by Bradley. Like Hincapé's race is run. Oh, he's going to take the throw-in. Okay. So Hincapé ran all the way from the right back, all the way to the left side of the field to make a short throw-in back to the defender. You're telling me that Trossard could have never done that. Anyway, here's Gabriel in possession. Get the ball back to Trossard. Trossard cuts into the box. Right to the front of Kirkes. Kirk put the ball into the box and Zubimendi took the ball right off Saka's foot there as he broke into the box. That was a chance. Because Kirkes was caught in two minds. Ultimately, no harm, no foul. As Hincapé is showing some discomfort there, and this looks like Lewis Skelly is getting ready to come on. Surely he's coming on for Hincapé. Lewis Skelly is a player that a lot of Arsenal fans have been crying to get more playing time. Now he's going to get his opportunity. Let's see what he does with it. As Lewis Skelly is coming on for Hincapie here. Let me go ahead and make this substitution. Miles Lewis Skelly in for Hincapie. Liverpool in possession in the center circle. Here's Virgil. Gets the ball inside to McAllister. McAllister get the ball out right to Bradley. Bradley to Frimpong. Frimpong back to Slavosly. Slavosly get the ball across the field to Virgil. Virgil back to the middle for McAllister. McAllister back to Slavosly. Slavosly going out to Bradley. Bradley on the right side of the 18. Gets the ball back to Slavosly. Slavosly gets the ball back to Konate. Konate back to Virgil. As it's now Liverpool's turn to apply a little bit of sustained pressure here in ball possession. And Arsenal now with a test of patience and concentration. As Slavosly gets the ball out to Virgil. Virgil out left to Gakpo. Gakpo try to get by Timber. Timber easily puts the ball back to Alisson. Alisson kicks it long. Virgil heads it down right to McAllister's feet. And here's McAllister in possession. Over the left to Gravenberg. Gravenberg to Kerkez. Kerkez back to Gakpo. Gakpo back to Gravenberg. McAllister made a good run there that Gravenberg did not see. It would take a peach of a ball to pick him out, but that was a good run there by McAllister. Here's Konate. We're in the 60th minute. Make the substitution moves here. It's a free kick to Liverpool. You remember that free kick that Szoboszlai scored against? I think it was Arsenal. I think it was Arsenal when he hit that free kick. This is basically in the same spot. I'm pretty sure it was Arsenal, that August 1st game. Szoboszlai had that free kick. This free kick is in the exact same spot when he had that great free kick. Let's see what he does with this, because it's about 32, 35 yards out. Szoboszlai definitely going for goal here. Puts it and went high and wide, but had a lot of power on it. Yeah. Yeah, that had all the power, but it went nowhere. Here, Alisson in possession. Get the ball out left. Odegaard has said he's had enough, and he's starting to press. And Liverpool is playing the ball around him, but his press came off as here's Frimpong breaking away. And the right wing put the ball in the box. Cleared away by Declan Rice, only to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back in possession. top of the 18, looking for a pass. The ball to Gravenberg. Here's Verts. Verts back to McAllister. McAllister double side with a shot. Deflected shot there. Could have gone anywhere. And Liverpool back in possession. Here's Gravenberg. Gravenberg to Kirkes. Back to Gravenberg. And Gravenberg goes back to Konate. Konate looking into the middle. Trying to find a pass here. Still Konate. The ball at right to Bradley. Bradley to Frimpong. Frimpong back to Bradley. There was a lot of space down the right wing. Put the ball in the box, Bradley. And easily blocked there by it was Saliba. Arsenal is now ready in 2 changes as Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli is coming on. And he's taking off Trossard. So he's taking off Trossard. I'm surprised he's putting on Martinelli for Trossard. Eze and Madueke, what more can they do? And Gabriel Jesus comes on for Gyökeres. But wow. Okay. I won't question I won't question Arteta right now. He has earned that right. But here's Jesus coming breaking into the box with his first touch. Shepherd out there by Konate. Let me go ahead and make these substitutions. I'm definitely dumbfounded though that he put it on Martinelli over Eze. And here we go, Arsenal back in possession, looking long. It's a good run there by Martinelli, and he was pulled down by Frimpong. Martinelli's saying he's hurt. He's pulled down in the 18-yard box. You know what? I'll be right back. I think my smoke alarm is going on. 1 second. Sorry about that, people. Little minor emergency in the house, but it look like who this hurt? What did I miss? Saka is down hurt. If you hear the beeping sound in the back, that's my smoke alarm going crazy. Nothing's broken, it's just going crazy. I have to check it after the game, but still 0-0. Hey, I didn't miss a goal. Do remember to hit the subscribe button, you know. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Trying to build a channel. We're doing watch-alongs. Normally, I have my co-host with me. I would sit down and we just have friendly banter. But no, today you have Junior and Junior only. So, Arsenal versus Liverpool, 0-0. Do remember tomorrow we have the AFCON. I think we'll be doing a watch-along on Saturday. Some big games coming up. Big games. As well as the AFCON quarterfinals coming up. Definitely can't wait for that. What's going on here? Okay, so Saka tried to tackle Kirkes. Kirkes beat Saka. So how Saka ended up hurt. Anyway, we're back. Liverpool back in possession. Here's Virgil. Back to Konate. Konate. Get the ball across over the Frimpong. Who's looked the liveliest so far as for Liverpool. Here's Konate in possession. I think it would be unfortunate if this game ends 0-0. I think both teams have played well enough to deserve at least a goal. Somebody deserve a goal. So Bradley, who's a right back, is now played as an inverted wing back. Szoboszlai in possession. So they are doing a little bit of movement here in Liverpool. Here's Virgil putting the ball wide again, trying to get Frimpong. So after all that, the movement is just to try to get Frimpong isolated against Lewis Skelly. Here's McAllister. Back to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back to Bradley. Bradley out there to Frimpong. Frimpong, I think that's Wirtz. Yeah, Wirtz. Here's Frimpong to Wirtz. Wirtz receive the ball back. Get the ball back to Bradley. Bradley to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back to Konate. Bradley playing with fire there against Martinelli, but got away with it. And Konate back in possession. And here's Bradley easily taken away by Declan Rice. Back to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly going back to Rhea. Rhea now looking long, trying to get the ball out to Saka. Saka beaten to it by Kirkes in the air, but only got to Declan Rice. Jesus tried to head the ball on. And Konate got possession. And Gakpo was bundled over by Julian Timber. Gakpo and Timber, the two Dutch players, opposing Dutch players, they're going at it. Here's Frimpong, back to Bradley. Bradley back to Konate. Konate back to Bradley. Bradley all the way back to Alisson. And a needless turnover there by Kirkes. Giving the ball back to Arsenal. Here's Arsenal back in possession in the center circle. 20 minutes left in the second half, or 18 minutes. And a fast-going second half here. Here's Lewis Kelly. Get the ball out left to Martinelli. Martinelli in possession. Looking for a cross into the box. Headed out there by Konate. Here's Gabriel Jesus. Out there to Frimpong. Here's Frimpong. Saka. Saka on the right wing. Got by very well done there by Kirkes. And Gakpo just gave the ball right back to Arsenal. And here's Martinelli. Martinelli just Boss Bradley Salad and then kick with the ball. That's Martinelli for you in a nutshell, right there. That play a while ago is everything about Martinelli. As Arteta is trying to cheer the players on. Arteta is a madman. You cannot have Eze and Madueke on the bench and you don't use them. I guess he's calling somebody over now. But Arteta is a madman. Here's Saka going at Kirk. Kirk slipped. Give Saka the space to run, but he did well to get back to his feet and win the ball off Saka. Can Liverpool turn it into something? Here's Frimpong. And Arsenal gets back in time, and Szoboszlai now waits and be more patient. Gets the ball back to Konate. Konate over to the left to Virgil. Virgil to Kirkes. Kirkes back to Virgil. Here's Szoboszlai to Wirtz. Wirtz back to Bradley. Bradley to Frimpong. Frimpong back to Wirtz. Wirtz to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back to Wirtz. Wirtz back to Konate. Konate back to... What? But here's Frimpong. I'm going to disregard what I just saw. Here's McAllister. McAllister back to Konate. Konate over to Virgil. Virgil out left to Cody Gakpo. Here's Gakpo with his countryman Timber. Get the ball back to his countryman. Virgil. Virgil over to Konate. Konate to Bradley. Bradley to Frimpong. And Frimpong just bust Lewis Kelly's salad without moving the ball. And here's Szoboszlai with a shot and it goes over the bar. Should have done better with that one. All right, Lewis Kelly. This game is too big for you, Lewis Kelly. So this is a bigger ball game. Here's Rhea. Back to Gabriel. Gabriel get the ball out there to Lewis Kelly. From in the middle of his own goal. And Lewis Kelly's kicked the ball into no man's land. Lewis Kelly's having a horrible game. And here's McAllister looking to make him pay for this. Here's Szoboszlai. Can he get a better shot off? He does, but Gabriel with a block. Here's Gravenberg. Back to Konate. Konate back to Frimpong. Here's Frimpong with Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly is looking nervous now. Now he's looking nervous. We have 15 minutes left in the game. Here's Vert. Back to Gakpo. Gakpo back to Gravenberg. Gravenberg over the right to Bradley. Bradley back to Frimpong. Frimpong should go at Lewis Kelly here. Easily gets past Lewis Kelly with a 1-2 fight. Put the ball into the box on the ground, but it goes to Bradley. Didn't go far. And Bradley with a... I don't know if that's a cross. I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to do. But here you go. Madueke and Eze coming on at the same time. This is what, as they're taking off Saka. So Saka is coming off for Madueke. Where is Eze going to play? I guess he's going to put Eze for Odegaard. Let's see. Yeah, so Eze for Odegaard. This change should have happened for Martinelli. But you know what? What do I know, right? So we got Madueke for Saka. And we have Eze for Odegaard. Let's see how this turned out now. Here's the ball for Timber out to Madueke. Right as he comes on, get by Kirkis easily, put the ball in a dangerous spot, and nobody was there to attack it. That should have been a tap in for Martinelli. That should have been a tap in for Martinelli. Martinelli, what were you doing at the back post? Oh, he cut off his run. I don't know where Martinelli was going. That should have been a tap in for Martinelli, but it ended up being a throw in for Liverpool. Liverpool living dangerously there as Madueke, a very dangerous cross there. And here's Bradley looking left for Gakpo. Gakpo just can't put it down. Luckily gets to Wirtz. Wirtz back to Gakpo as we are entering the last 10 minutes of the game. This is where it gets squeaky bum time. Here's Virgil. Virgil over to the right to Konate. Konate looking to Slavosly. Slavosly to the middle for Gravenberg. Easily taken there by Zubamendi. And a foul has been called as Slavosly did his best pirouette, jump, spin, hop, skip against Jesus, and he earned himself a free kick. This is another dangerous free kick for Liverpool. This is about 30 yards out, and Slavosly is definitely fancying it. Oh, this definitely is Slavosly range. This definitely is Slavosly range as Rhea looks a little pensive. I don't know about you, but this looked dangerous. As Rhea is not happy with the wall. Can Slavosly replay the magic that he did in the first game? Because this is definitely in his territory. And he definitely has this in his locker. Here's Slavosly. Put the ball in just over the bar. That ball was dipping and turning. Six inches lower, and I think Rhea is beaten. I think Rhea is beaten if that ball went 6 inches lower. Well, here's Rhea. Put the ball out right to Saliba. Saliba back to Rhea. We got 8 minutes left in the game, 7 minutes left in the game. Buckle up, people. I think we're in for a wild ride. Arsenal has all their big guns out there right now, so the game might open up a little bit. Here's Slavosly. Trying to win a free kick, but was too soft. The referee says play on. Here's Gabriel Jesus. Trying to get the ball to his fellow countryman, Martinelli. And Lewis Skelly with a auspicious foul on Frimpong. It looks like Martinelli himself picked up a yellow card. Apologies if you hear a blender running in the background, but it looks like who got the yellow card? Is it Martinelli or is it Arteta. It looked like it's Arteta got the yellow card. And the curious fact is, Liverpool has not made a substitution. It's a curious point in the game as Verts, us Jamaicans used to Verts catched Gabriel when the ball was in the air. Here's Gabriel, get the ball out right to Saliba. Saliba back to Zubimendi. All right, Arsenal. If you guys want to be taken seriously as title contenders, you have to find a goal in the next 5 minutes. A beautiful turn there by Lewis Skelly. Got the ball into Martinelli. This might be a tap in on Martinelli with a full cross. What are you doing, Martinelli? Put the ball on the ground. Even though the referee still called offside. It's still offside. But put the ball on the ground, man. And somebody else got a yellow card. Who got a yellow card this time? It looks like a Liverpool coach got a yellow card. So Arsenal, it looked like Arteta got a yellow card and now a Liverpool coach got a yellow card. Here's Timber. Get the ball into Zubimendi. Zubimendi back to Saliba. As he coming short. Here's Declan Rice. Declan Rice trying to get the ball back to Timber and overhit it a bit. And Arteta is trying to signal to his players to be calm. Arteta, the man, them cannot be calm right now. They want to win. They want to win the Premier League. They need a goal. I don't know why you put on Martinelli. It's crazy. Anyway, here's McAllister breaking down the left wing. Has 3 Arsenal players for company. They're definitely in a no man's land. And he's shepherded out by Timber. It's a goal kick to Arsenal. Arnestad looks quite comfortable with a 0-0 draw. He does. Goal kick out by Rhea to nobody but Virgil. Here's Gakpo, get by Timber. And he's taken down. This game has definitely been Timber versus Gakpo. I think that has been one of the battles, one of the good battles in the game so far. I think Kirkes and Saka was also a good battle. Saka had the best of him in the first half, but Kirkes eventually got better in the second half. But definitely, it's been Timber and Gakpo been going at it. It's been really a good watch. And the other thing I'm noticing too is that Liverpool is not playing with a striker. Because Gakpo is playing more as a winger. Vert seems to be playing as a false 9. Here's Slavaslai told Frimpong relax on the long run. Here's McAllister. Ball out right to Bradley. Bradley back to Konate. Konate over to Virgil. Arsenal seems to be chasing the game now. As they know time is against them. Here's Kirkes breaking away down the left wing. He's trying to look long. There's nobody to pass to get the ball back to. Eventually gets up for Gravenberg all the way back to Virgil. Virgil back to Gravenberg. Gravenberg to Gakpo. Gakpo back to Virgil. Virgil looking long, and it's another wayward pass there. After all that, that's a wayward pass, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal. Come on, guys. This game cannot. This game, it's a sin for this game to finish 0-0. Here's Gabriel. Ball off to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly charged down by Slavosly. Throw in to Arsenal. Lewis Kelly, who had a nervous start to the game. Very nervous start to the game. Here's Eze pulled down by McAllister. And McAllister earned himself a yellow card there with that foul on Eze when Eze turned and left him in the dust. Here's Eze. Get the ball up right to Madueke. Madueke now going at Kirkes. Easily get by Kirkes. Is bringing him back for a dance. Got the ball back to Saliba. Saliba getting the ball back to Madueke. Madueke saying, come on, Kirkes, let's have this dance. Get the ball back to Saliba. Saliba puts the ball in the box. It's a beautiful cross. Free header. And Gabriel Jesus could not put any power or direction on it. Could only get it straight to his fellow Brazilian countryman Alisson's hands. But that was a dangerous cross there by Saliba. Here's Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly looking left for Martinelli. Here's Martinelli running at Bradley. Martinelli bust Bradley Salah and put a ball in the box. Oh, man. Martinelli with I guess Americans call it a meg. What do they call it in your country? But in Jamaica we call that salad. When you put it through somebody's legs and you'll get it, that's called a salad. And Martinelli just bust Bradley Salad. That's the thing I don't understand. Both Arsenal wings, they have been finding joy. We're entering into stoppage time. It's 4 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Martinelli going at Frimpong this time. And Savasside now coming over to take over. So Bradley, as said, he's had enough. He doesn't want to take on Martinelli. He vexed with the salad. Here's Gabriel Jesus with a good turn. And Konate does well. Earned himself a free kick right in the 18-yard box. And Jesus is beside himself thinking that he should have done better. I can't believe this game is going to end. I cannot believe this game is going to end 0-0. Cannot believe it. I cannot believe this game is going to end 0-0. 2 minutes left in stoppage time. I don't see anything happening in the next 2 minutes. As Bradley is hurt, and Martinelli and Konate, now we have another brouhaha, as Martinelli got a yellow card for pushing and Alisson is all the way out there trying to talk to his fellow countryman. So the three Brazilians, Martinelli, Gabriel, and Alisson, They're all talking to each other saying, yo, relax, 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 relax. So Martinelli with a yellow card. Konate with a yellow card. And Konate and Gabriel Jesus seems to be going at it. And Rice is trying to get Konate to relax himself. This game had more yellow cards than attempts. As Bradley seemed to have done himself in trying to... Let me see what happened here. Oh yeah, he did twist his knee. I don't even want to speculate on what happened, but he did twist his knee when he's trying to clear the ball out. That's very unfortunate. Whew. Very unfortunate there. So Konate got a yellow for sure. I'm pretty sure Martinelli got a yellow. Yeah, so Martinelli got a yellow. Who's that coming on? Oh, Gomez. So yeah, so Bradley's day is done. Gomez is coming on for Bradley. Yeah, he definitely did his knee in there. Definitely did his knee in there. Hopefully he's okay. Well, we're well into time, stopping time, but obviously some added minutes because of the Bradley injury. Arsenal now trying to put a little bit more sense of urgency, trying to find that winning goal. It'll be unfair for Liverpool to lose this game right here, right now. Here's Madueke. Madueke going at Kirkes. Has Gakpo for company, but earns Arsenal a corner kick. If there's ever a time for Arsenal to score on a set piece, it will be now. Possibly the last kick of the game. More likely the last kick of the game. All right. Frimpong is guarding Saliba. And McAllister is guarding Gabriel. That is not a good look. And so said, so done. Gabriel had a free header on the back post and headed it wide. Just as I said it, Gabriel had a free header and he actually took the ball off Gabriel Jesus' head. When Jesus was covered in free like a bird. Arsenal set piece coach cannot believe it. He's down on the ground beside himself and it's over. That was the last kick of the game. Wow. That's it. That's it. That was the last kick. 0-0. If there was ever a game that deserved a goal, is this game. If there ever a game that deserved a goal, is this game. 0-0 end of the game. Two big sides end the game 0-0. Last game. It's the last game of the round. Arsenal has now 6 points clear of the summit. at the top of the English Premier League. Liverpool now is 2 points clear of Brentford. Yeah, it's this is a game that deserved a goal. This is a game that you could have seen a goal coming. It's also a game that was played very cagey. Uh, both teams had their chances. Second half, Liverpool started a little bit more brightly in the second half, but Arsenal definitely took it to them for the whole game. I think on a whole, I would say that Arsenal probably felt like they should have scored, could have won. Liverpool themselves did create some chances. So, all in all, honors even. I think it's a fair result in the grand scheme of things. But Arsenal fans must be sick to their stomach right now because this is a weekend. This is a round where you have an opportunity to put some more air between you and your next challenger. You're trying to get to the Premier League title. And you could have easily opened up an 8-point gap and you threw it away. You're playing at home. Liverpool beat you the first game on August 31st in the return leg, the first game on the first of the two legs. Liverpool defeated you, and you come now and could only muster a draw. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. If you're trying to win the Premier League title, it's not good enough. Both teams now will get ready for the FA Cup ties this weekend. Arsenal plays Portsmouth, I think that's Saturday. Or is that Sunday? Sunday. Arsenal plays Portsmouth Sunday at 9 a.m. in the FA Cup, and Liverpool will go up against Barnsley? Yeah, Liverpool will go up against Barnsley on Monday, the 12th of January. Both games in the FA Cup. Then after that, they return to Premier League play. But yeah, all in all, there was some drama. There were some moments where we can point to and say, there were some moments where we can point to and say Liverpool could have stolen the game, but there were moments where we could easily say Arsenal should have won. Big up BM. BM is reporting that Excelsior just won the Olivia Shield. They defeated Stets in the Olivia Shield. And for all those, this is Jamaican schoolboy football. So you have the Manning Cup, you have the DaCosta Cup. The Manning Cup is more for the Kingston teams, or I don't want to say urban or rural, but Manning Cup is for the urban, for the Kingston high school teams, or Kingston St. Andrew, St. Catherine high school teams. And the Costa Cup is for the rest of the island high school teams. And then after both trophies have been earned, the winners of both competitions come together and play in the Olivia Shield. So Excelsior sealed the double this year. Congratulations, Excelsior, the Eagles of Excelsior, with a comprehensive 2-0 victory over Stets. Big up to Stets. Stets had a successful year this year in the DaCosta Cup, but just fell a little bit short to a superior Excelsior. And I'm not surprised at that score, because Excelsior definitely rolled some ball this year. And look out, we're trying to get the Excelsior coach to do a off the field interview. So that will be coming up very, very soon. So look out for that. And we're going to talk to some other coaches too. We have some coaches lined up that we're going to talk to in Jamaican football space. So let's add that to the scoreboard. Excelsior defeated Stets 2-0. Real Madrid defeated Atletico Madrid 2-1 in the Supercopa. In the Champions Trophy, PSG defeated Marseille after drawing their round 2-2. They defeated them on penalty. Genoa, who was leading AC Milan, that game ended up in a draw 1-1. That's another one of those games where AC Milan, just like Arsenal, had an opportunity to strengthen their spot in the in the title race. Well, actually, they would have been gone 1 point behind Inter if they had won. But with the draw, they're now 3 points behind Inter. And Napoli, I think Napoli lost yesterday. I think Napoli lost yesterday. Napoli is in third at 38 points. Juventus is fourth on 36, and Roma is fifth on 36. Roma and Juventus have played one more game. So, man, football getting excited. Going into the World Cup here, football getting excited. BM says he see another Miguel Coley in the making. We're going to talk to him about that. Well, we're going to get that interview going. Trust me, that interview is all but locked. Really, really soon. So, the thing is, I don't know if we're going to do it live, but we'll see. We will see. Anyway, that's it, people. Real Madrid defeated Atletico Madrid 2-1. They ended up holding on after taking a 2-0 lead. And Atletico Madrid came back to make it close. Liverpool, Arsenal, 0-0. End of the tie. Or end of the round in the English Premier League. Arsenal now sitting at the summit with a 6-point lead over Man City and Aston Villa. Man City and Aston Villa now can kick themselves after dropping points. Now that they see that Arsenal dropped some points this weekend, they give up their opportunity to get closer to the top. All to play for this weekend though. FA Cup is playing this weekend. No Premier League games this weekend. But you don't know tomorrow, Afghan is playing tomorrow, the quarterfinals. You know what? BM said this yesterday in the halftime show that the Afghan fixtures, these games are mouth-watering games. And I agree 1,000,000%. Even with Mali, who we see Mali has not won a game. But they are in the quarterfinals. They have earned their spot. They play against Senegal tomorrow. Cameroon versus Morocco in arguably Cameroon versus Morocco is the game of the round. Arguably. Algeria plays against Nigeria on Saturday, and Egypt versus Ivory Coast. I'm gonna tell you right now, my predictions. I predict Senegal will end Mali's run. I predict the host Morocco will continue playing. Cameroon is going home tomorrow. I'm also predicting that Nigeria will defeat Algeria. The Egypt-Ivory Coast one is a little bit tricky to me. I'm not sure about Egypt-Ivory Coast. I'm confident about Senegal. If I was a betting man, I will go full on with Morocco versus Cameroon. I feel good about Nigeria. I think Nigeria is on a mission. I think Nigeria is pissed off from not making it to the World Cup, and it's showing. And I don't think Algeria has what it takes to slow them down. Egypt, Ivory Coast, I am 50% on. I am right down the middle. I cannot pick the winner of that one. But all to play forward, I think Benton is doing a watch along on Saturday for sure. He definitely do a watch along for Saturday games. Tomorrow games we're both working, so we're not going to have a watch along tomorrow. But keep it locked. BCN Sports, we'll cover all sports. We'll cover all things. So we will be here covering it wall to wall. Big up on yourself every time. Big up to Onak Wisdom. Hopefully I pronounced the name properly. Big up to Tatenda Trish, who logged on earlier and let me know say I was on mute. But I am back. I'm big up to BM every time. BM is the I don't want to call it a ball chat statistician. You are our stats man. You're the stats man. Real stats man. That's a big up yourself every time, BM. Big up to all those watching. Do remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. You can follow us on Blue Sky Ball Chat Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Ball Chat. Email us, ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't done so as yet, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We are on the road to 260 subscribers. No, What am I saying? 260. We're on the road to 550 subscribers. Let's get to 550. I'm starting small and then we'll just keep going, right? So do remember, keep it locked, keep it locked. Arsenal drew with Liverpool 0-0. Boy, Arteta, hopefully this is not the start of the slip.